What is up, my awesome YouTubers? Coasters are Beast09 back here to talk about a fresh new movie that came out that is relevant to all of us, and it's something I want to talk about. And relevant to all of us, I mean in the horror community. And real quick, I know I didn't talk. Don't think I've done a review on the first one, and that being Happy Death Day. I loved Happy Death Day. I remember when Happy Death Day came out, and I was seeing the trailers, and I was like, I thought it looked stupid. I'm not gonna lie, and I was not interested in seeing it. And boy, was I wrong, because I remember streaming it after it came out when I was bored one night. I was like, I'll give it a shot, and I really, really enjoyed it. And went out and bought it on Blu-ray a couple days later because I was like, that movie was fucking awesome. So yeah, Happy Death Day. Love this movie. If you guys want to see me do a review about it, I will do that. I know in my last video I told you guys I was going to be doing this review for this movie before I did any more of my request videos. Today is my first day off in, I don't even know how many days. I worked a lot, 10-hour shifts, was not really doing anything. I would get home and pretty much just be lazy. So, but here we are to talk about Happy Death Day to You. It's my movie ticket from opening night, the 13th. So, Happy Death Day to You. Okay, you guys saw this, made it onto my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2019, and for good reason. I want to preface by saying a couple things. One, if you guys are worried that this movie is going to be too much like the first movie, you are so wrong. I mean, if you are holding back from going to see this movie because you are afraid it's going to be the same as the first movie, please understand that it is not the case at all. The trailers for this movie were very misleading. I was excited regardless, but the trailers made it seem like it was a rehash of Happy Death Day. The trailers made it seem like it was taking what you were familiar with and just rolling with it again because they thought, hey, if that formula worked the first time, it'll work this time. Unfair marketing to the movie, because that is not how the movie is. The movie is very different than the first movie, and it kind of suffered this weekend for it. So the movie was made on a $9 million budget worldwide from, I guess, Wednesday night to today. Estimates are right around $27 million worldwide, which is 3 times the budget. So it's already profitable. But the first movie made that in its opening weekend domestically alone. So it is definitely taken a hit. And a lot of what I've read online is because people are afraid that it is the same as the first movie, and they don't want a retread of that. Guys, it's not. I promise you it's not. I'm not going to get into spoilers in this review. This is just a quick one I'm going to throw up because I really want people to go out and see this movie. Basically, Happy Death Day 2U picks up like seamlessly from the first one. And you have Ryan, Carter's roommate, in the time loop. And not only is he in a time loop, they start to explore multiverses. And then Tree, I don't even really know how to do this without spoilers, but basically she's questioning Ryan as to what he's experiencing, what happened. They track down what the cause of this was, but then Tree gets stuck right back into the time loop again. So Tree ends up back into her time loop from the first movie, and she is obviously not too pleased with that. And you find out it's because, and this isn't a spoiler, it's in the trailers, they created, Ryan and his friends created a machine that he calls Sissy that creates this time loop. It uses quantum physics and whatever. I'm not like a really big science guy, so I don't know, but basically the idea of it was to, I guess, to see if you could control time, go forward, go backwards, slow down time, speed up time. And what they ended up doing was creating different opening a hole to different dimensions of the same time loop, but in every dimension, things are a little bit different. So Tree is transported back to the same day. However, she finds that things are a lot different in this dimension. And as the movie goes on, she realizes that the only way to get herself back to her original dimension, the dimension that she knows that she is from, that universe, is basically through trial and error. They have to have the right code to plug into Sissy to allow her to get back, because every wrong code is just going to, it's gonna, I think it, I can't even remember if it if it fucks with the machine or if it just doesn't work. I don't know. But the only way for her to find that out is through trial and error. So dying and memorizing each sequence that she tries so they can mark it off the list and try the next one until they get the right one. So then you get this great montage of Tree dying over and over again, just like in the first movie, except in this one, she's killing herself over and over again with Hard Times by Paramore playing as she's doing it. And it's like perfect. It's literally perfect. So yeah, sorry, I know that's kind of all over the place, but that's kind of how this movie is. It's like genre bending, it's sci-fi, it's all over the place. But essentially the focus of this movie is Tree trying to find out how to get back to her dimension that she knows, while also getting out of the time loop that she's stuck in, while also finding out who the killer is in this new dimension. And it is not the killer from the first movie. Like I said, things in each different dimension or multiverse, in this multiverse theory, things in each one are different. I don't want to go into spoilers at all. I mean, I'm sure you can watch the trailers and maybe get some of the answers. I'm not going to go into spoilers at all. I'm not going to tell you who the killer was from the first movie. I'm not gonna do any of that. But this movie is very different, and the most important thing to know about this movie is, for me, to tell you guys, is how much more of an emotional, genre-bending type of blast of a movie that this is. In this dimension, something is very different for Tree, and she starts to struggle whether she even wants to go back. And it really lends itself super well to the story because it's giving Tree another emotional character arc. That's very important for her, and she has to make a very tough decision. And Jessica Rothe is fucking awesome again. I mean, Jessica Rothe is awesome in this role. She sells angry, she sells sadness, she sells her jokes, delivery. I mean, she sells it all perfectly. She is on point. She is a fantastic actress. I hope to see her in many more movies because these two movies have shown me all I need to know about her. She has the range to convey any emotion. And I think she's even better in this sequel. I think that, again, sorry about, the recap kind of all over the place, but that's really kind of how this movie is. You have to know what you're getting into. Not that it doesn't make sense, but it is all over the place. It throws a lot at you. But that's basically the synopsis, is that she's in another dimension. They explore the multiverse theory in this movie, and she's got to find her way back to her original dimension if she even wants to, and while also trying to stop this killer. And so yeah, you get answers as to what caused it in the first movie in the first place. You just learn a lot more about these characters. This movie's very character driven, and I love that because I had no qualms about any of the characters in the first movie. I was interested in all of them. Even Danielle, her roommate, is a total turd. But you don't mind knowing more about her. And she's given more to do in this movie. You just get to know everybody a little bit more, and you get to see different character arcs, and you get to see them grow. And it's really, really cool. But guys, I mean, the elephant in the room, we got to talk about it. It's not a horror movie. I'm sorry. It has slasher elements to it. It has horror flavors sprinkled throughout it. It still has, at its core, what made Happy Death Day, but it's not the main driving force anymore. The main driving force that in this movie is trying to figure out how to get her back, not trying to figure out who the killer is and solve that mystery. That was the first one. That was a whodunit type thing. This is more of focused heavily on the sci-fi. That's kind of the main driving force of this movie, and the killer is an added plot point, but it's not the major plot point this time. Uh, don't let that deter you from this movie. I mean, this movie is a very, very good movie. It is it's super funny. I mean, just like the first one, and a lot of that has to do with Jessica Rothe. She's great with her delivery and performance. I mean, she's great. But again, like I said, it's it's a fun movie. It throws a lot at you. Not everything sticks, in a lot of these types of movies, not everything is going to stick, but it throws a lot at you. The score is fantastic. I actually think there's a little more blood in this movie than there was in the first one, ironically, because it's not a horror movie. So that's interesting. I mean, again, like I said, technically, for all intents and purposes, yes, it is a horror movie on the surface, but it's so much more than that. The reveal of the killer isn't as, obviously, since it's not as integral to the plot in this one, it isn't as surprising at all, nor is it as impactful, but that's not really what you came for at that point. At that point in the movie, when it happens, you're like, cool, whatever, but let's figure out how this is going to get fixed. So not nearly as important to the story. The soundtrack, I think I already said the music was awesome. The soundtrack as well, all the songs that weren't original compositions by Bear McCreary, the composer, they add an awesome touch. The visuals are actually really, really good for a $9 million movie. Really, really cool visuals. Again, like I said, I think that the added sci-fi element to this movie kind of, I don't know, just expands on its potential and what it can be. And I was a fan of that. Yeah, guys, I mean, it's hard to talk too much about this movie without giving spoilers, and I promise you I'm not going to do that unless you want a spoiler review. If you guys want a spoiler review, let me know, and I will go ahead and do one. I have no issues with doing that at all. And maybe I'll create a poll on my Twitter. And I wanted to let you know, follow me on Twitter, guys. Nebs94, NEBZ94. Add me on Facebook, Nicholas Eberly. I can put links to those in the description. But yeah, just for more, to be more involved with that, I'll ask questions, polls about what you guys want me to do and stuff like that. If you're interested in seeing what I'm doing in my personal life, feel free. But guys, I'm going to say this now. I enjoyed Happy Death Day to You more than the first movie, for different reasons, but mainly because Happy Death Day to You tried really hard to be different. It tried really hard to stand out. It tried really hard to take such a simple, redone idea, Groundhog Day type idea, and make it all the more interesting and add so many layers to a story that you thought was just so pretty cut and dry, and you didn't really care about the explanation maybe when you watched the first movie, but now when you get to the second one, you're like, I want to know more. So I had a more enjoyable time, I think, with Happy Death Day to You, and that's saying a lot because I loved Happy Death Day. So guys, if you disagree, if you preferred the first one, if you preferred the more slasher-driven type movie, that's awesome. I love Happy Death Day. I will never tell you that that's not okay. Sequels aren't for everyone, but in my opinion, this is one of those rare sequels where it improves upon the first one. And if I could ask you guys to do one thing, it's to implore you to go see this movie. To pay for the price of a ticket and go see this movie and give it a chance. Give it a fair shake. Don't just listen to what I said and read reviews and go, I'm not going to watch it. Don't do that. Give it a fair shake. If you like the first one, give this movie the time of day and go see Happy Death Day to You, because I promise you, you're not going to get what you expect. You just won't. It is a very different movie, and I love that about this movie. As I said, the most important things to know about this movie, it is a genre bending, character driven, emotionally driven, funny, dark comedy slash slasher movie. That's all you need to know about Happy Death Day to You. It is different, it throws a lot at you, it is a total blast. There are flaws with the movie. I will get into that if you guys want me to do a spoiler review. I will get in depth. But on the surface, I want to tell you guys why you should go see this movie. We need Blumhouse to keep being the machine that it is. So please go out and support Happy Death Day to You guys. I am going to give Happy Death Day to You the very rare 5 out of 5 stars. In my opinion, I don't know, maybe it's a little unfair because I was so amped for it, so, to be expected, I guess, but it just truly is a blast of a movie. It is purchase worthy. It is go out and see it tonight type movie. Nothing more really to say about this movie, guys. If you want to see me do a spoiler review, leave it in the comments below. Also, keep adding requests. That'll be my next video. As I said, I wanted to do this before I got back into those. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and stuff, go ahead and do that. I appreciate you guys, and go see Happy Death Day to You.